I've been criticized on being too harsh on black culture and not understanding that there's a difference and a distinction between true black culture and what we are currently seeing in the mainstream. And this is a belief I actually used to hold myself. Looking back at much of what Thomas Sowell spoke on as far as this subculture that is being widely accepted, we have now gotten to a place where that's no longer the case. We're no longer in a place where it is a subculture. It is the alternative culture. It's like, you have mainstream culture, then you have the skating culture. What we have is the equivalent of that skating culture becoming a part of the mainstream. So everybody is at the very least wearing skater shoes or skater brands or whatever it may be, right? That's what's happened within quote unquote black culture. It has become indistinguishable from ghetto culture. And there may be no better example I can show y'all than what I saw in the last couple of days. So these are two vastly different clips, yet they show that even when you are in an environment that is truly progressive, I don't mean it in like this liberal leftist sort of mentality. I mean, genuinely, like an environment that's supposed to foster the best out of us, like the education system or what's become the indoctrination system. These are college graduates that y'all are about to see. And let's just say, well, I think this will speak better for itself. So let's just get into it, shall we?
His Majesty will address you now. My name is Micah Townsend Ingram, biology major, and I approve this message.
Jordan Xavier Christian, communication studies major.
Adaye Henson, communications major, Sacramento, California. Schleck.
Salula, Gabriel Selassie, Taylor.
Now, what y'all just saw right there, the slat thing is, I believe it's Young Thug, YSL. It's basically, it's gang signs. Slat, gang sign. The other dude, I don't know if he was twerking. I don't know what the hell was going on with Buddy back here. Look, he was doing whatever. Maybe it's some fraternity dance, but then he started to really hit the before he got pushed the hell out the way. So yeah, we've got the very flamboyant, zesty dude right here, which is a whole nother conversation of what's going on within the quote unquote black community, right? The zestification of men. Then we have some twerking, and then we got the next man who stands up here and he does the slat. Then we have Rastafari. So we'll continue.
Gabriel Selassie, Taylor McNeil, business administration. Magna cum laude! Go Birds! Go Birds!
Kennedy Johnson, political science major, cum laude.
There we go, regular-ish.
A.K.A. Mr. Too Sneaky, A.K.A. 234, firstborn Nigerian legacy from PG County, Maryland. And Magna cum laude.
And that's a Nigerian. Somebody's going to say, well, that's not an African American. That's a tether. That's one of y'all tethers making a bad name for. He's picking up the culture. Flash some jewelry. You know what I'm saying? AKA.
I was going to get up here and act a fool, but game on me. Ali Usor Jr., dual degree engineer with a focus in general science and civil engineering. Cum laude, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know how we do this, man.
My name is Pierre No Rice. I am born in Atlanta.
So it's, oh Lord, it's either you got to be, you got to have your hand in the cookie jar, some sugar in the tank, or you got to have some sort of ghetto ratchet loudness going on. Even the dude who just came on right before, this guy right here, he said I was going to act a fool. Why? Is it too much to ask to just graduate? Y'all saw the video, the viral video of the women, the black women who were, I guess, graduated from whatever school it was, and they were acting a fool. Most of them, whoever was shown in that clip, and there was more than a couple dozen of them, were acting a absolute fool. Throwing a bag, twerking, like just acting up. Shoes off, weaves flying in the air. You understand me? And some people just say, well, it's just fun. But guess what? That's representation of what has now become the most acceptable. You can't just graduate normally anymore. You can't just do that. And we all had somebody at our graduation who was acting a fool, whatever it was, right? But it wasn't necessarily for the point of like, this is what we do as our people. No, it was a goofy dude, the class clown. And, he's trying to get a little bit more attention before he leaves high school and everybody forgets about him.
Pierre No Rice. I am born in Atlanta, Piedmont to be exact.
We have, and we putting BTA all 2025. Let's do it.
Oh,
My mama, give it up. My mama, give it up for Sierra. Clap it up for Sierra.
Julius Tavon Brown from the DMV Business Administration, summa cum laude.
What the hell is, ladies? I know y'all are seeing this too. What the hell is going on with the fellas out there? How much zest is there out there nowadays? This is the men that are graduating. I had not seen the totality of this video, so I did not know what we're about to get into. I just saw enough to know, okay, this is the perfect example of drawing this parallel. So anyway, that's just going to be a sideline question for you guys. What the hell is going on with these guys? So anyway, we have this next clip, which is, it's different, but not so different at the same time, right? Y'all see right there, obviously these are not our future scientists, doctors, professors, and innovators. Instead, these look more like exactly what the hell you're thinking right now. You're not off if that's what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking this looks like. You're not wrong. I'm gonna show you how not wrong you are.
Nobody want to be the cool no more with the hoes, you know what I'm saying, with the money and shit. They don't respect that no more. They respect who got the most hats, who got the most souls, you know what I'm saying, who killed the most people.
This ain't no safe shit.
Nah,
This ain't no safe shit. You safe because you with us, though. I got a bunch of motherfuckers who ain't gonna let nothing happen to you.
I appreciate that.
Let's make something.
So this is a video of, I believe, Southside Chicago gang members, just regular day in Southside Chicago, who are stating that nobody wants to be the cool guy with, all these chicks around him, right? Distributing narcotics, making money, hustling. Nobody cares about that part anymore. What they care about is taking as many lives as humanly possible. That's what is now pedestalized. That's what's glorified. So it's gone from degeneracy to outright just plain evil. Right? It was degenerate before. It was like, okay, we out here to be freaky, to lay up with as many chicks, whatever. You wanted to be a player, PIMP, those types of things, right? When we were coming up, it's like that's what was presented to us as cool. Sleep with as many girls as possible, and make money through the distribution of narcotics, aka be a dope boy. We're now in a place where what is valued amongst these kids, I mean, many of them are kids or quote unquote young men, and I use that word men loosely. What is now valuable is snatching souls, as he said, taking lives.
You know what I'm saying, with the money and shit. They don't respect that no more. They respect who got the most hats, who got the most souls, you know what I'm saying, who killed the most people.
This ain't no safe shit.
Nah,
This ain't no safe shit. You safe because you with us, though. I got a bunch of motherfuckers who ain't gonna let nothing happen to you.
So let's draw the comparison now. We have this scene here, boom. And then we have the one of the graduates. I'm sure you can conjure up an image in your head of that. The true delineation between the two, well, it's pretty much damn near everything. However, the way in which they present themselves is the same. That's a problem. And there's almost no other culture or group of people who adopt a blanket culture amongst themselves. I've oftentimes talked about the differentiation of like white, because I don't think I can say it. So white and civilized white folks. There's a delineation. Somebody want to talk about, well, the Asians have Yakuza. And most Chinese, Japanese, etc., are not part of their collective mobsters in the underworld. And they don't take on the tropes of that. They don't take on the cultural elements of the underworld. Those things are looked down upon. Their parents would lay hands on them if that's how their kids showed up. Yet it has become acceptable, normalized. You show up like this, this doesn't look strange to y'all because it's normal. You don't look at this and think to yourself, oh my goodness, what happened here? How did a young black man become like this? Unfortunately, the first thing you think is, oh, typical. Yep, seen that before. Well, there goes the culture. That's the first thing you think. And that's the issue here. There is no clear delineation between the two. And it's unfortunate because I believe that most black folks actually aren't these sociopathic, homicidal individuals. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it's not possible for most of the population. I mean, stats say that less than 10% of the people are committing 60% of the crimes or the most violent crimes. So even in the hood or whatever it may be, the sociopath, it might be two of these guys who are actually like really that. They're really loose in the head, loose screws in the damn dome, right? The rest of them would just tag along and follow along to whatever the culture is saying. And you might have one or two who set themselves apart. And unfortunately, in our species, there are more followers than there are leaders. I wish we would all be leaders of ourselves. I wish we would all think for ourselves. And that's what I aim for. I aim to be part of creating a world where we are thinking for ourselves. But in the place that we are, it's the blind leading the blinder. And so here we have kids on a university campus. These aren't just normal graduates. These are the magna cum laudes and lattes and mocha chocolates and all types of stuff going on. These are individuals graduating with honors. These guys are graduating with honors. And they got to throw up all sorts of stuff. They got to be a zesty. They got to be twerking. Zesty. They got to put on all types of ratchet. Look at my watch. Look at my... If they're not zesty, they got to be doing some foolishness like this. And I bet you, kids like this grew up in a nice home, maybe in, suburbs or whatever it was, and you still. It's like the episode on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Carlton is trying to, put that hood thing on, and he looks like a damn black cholo. I don't know if y'all remember that one. Carlton the Cholo. Just look up Carlton gang or Carlton Banks gang member, and you'll see he's looking like a damn black cholo in that video. He's got the sunglasses on. He's got the bandana. Got a flannel like me right here. If you know, you know. And Will has to come and save him out the hood or wherever else he had got himself caught up in because he's trying to put on this image. That's what's happening at a unprecedented rate. If you don't have a little bit of that ratchetness in you, it's like the college girls, the lawyers. You got women who are lawyers, doctors, etc., and they still got to twerk and show their behind. That's a cultural issue. That's a cultural issue. People are doing well for themselves, but don't want to create a family. They would still rather be a baby mama. What? That's a cultural issue. You rather thug it out or be an entire cookie jar monster. Hand perpetually in a cookie jar. Okay. Again, I'm not saying this. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But I'm just saying, how do we get to a place where it's this unprecedented? What is in the water? What is in the damn water? Oh, well, they couldn't be themselves before, so they all just come out. I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak on that intelligently. I can't speak on that with enough authority, but I can only assert. I can only make assumptions about this. But what I know for a fact is that what has become the mainstream, and I said become because look, when you see the elderly gentleman in the background, not him, not Rastafari. When you see these guys or the one pushing them to the side, they're like, okay, we're not about that. But they even might have a little something to them. There's always got to be something. Look, she is just brokenhearted. What the hell has happened to our children? What has happened to our people? Oh, she laughing right there. What did he say? Okay, got him out the way. Look at this. The elderlies in the background. They got to be the ones who are checking these kids in real life in real time. Oh, they're just kids. They're just having fun. No, this is how they're being socialized. This is what they're believing is normal. And this is what they're going to continue to perpetuate. And other people will do the same thing. They're going to see hip hop cool and they use it. They'll put on the attire, whatever it is, and then they'll put it off when they go home. They'll put it off when they go into the rest of their lives. They don't adopt it as a part of themselves. They do the cosplay thing and then they go to their real lives, but you end up crashing out. You put that demeanor on, you put that thing on, and you end up crashing out and losing your life over a culture that never really cared for you in the first place. So again, we're here to continuously break those chains so you can allow that mind to expand, to start thinking outside of these parameters that have been created, to say, if you are this, then you're supposed to be that. No, you're supposed to be an individual first. You're supposed to express your humanity. Don't allow yourself to be led and controlled by, well, I got to stay on code, what it means to be black. If it means to be degenerate, if it means to be dysfunctional and an absolute crash out, then you need to abandon that, because there's only one path. Crash the hell out. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.